I get shit done, I have fun, it's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Business Renovator. I'm your host, Coach Phil. Rising above an uncommon journey to success. We're going to explore that a little bit today in the time we have. We'll cover as much as possible with our wonderful guest. If you're watching us live, thank you for being here with us today. Appreciate that. And if you're watching us on a replay, let us know where you're watching us from. And if you have a question, comment, or feedback, we welcome them all. That's how we get better. And if you like what we're about, share the Business Renovator with your community, wherever they are in the world, because you just never know what message might resonate with somebody you care about. Let's get on with the show. And the show is about conversations in around sales, marketing, and mental fitness. And a shameless plug from my company. Here it comes right now. We'll be back in just a sec. Hey, we're back with some really good news. You can have your business growth score we're talking about there. And the good news is it's complimentary. You can check in and see where you're at and do nothing else other than get validated that you're on the right track. Or you might identify that there is an area for improvement. And if that's the case and you'd like to have conversation, 30-minute coaching session, again, no credit card required. If you caught us on the Business Renovator, you're invited to reach out to myself and I can help make that happen. If I'm not the right person for you, don't worry. There's a network of us around the globe with a diverse group of skills and experience. So if that resonates with you, please take advantage of it. So today I'm honored to have a wonderful guest who's going to share a bit of her journey. And the topic today is Rising Above Uncommon Journey to Success. So on this episode of the Business Renovator, you will meet Teodora Moga, a woman with a name as unique as her journey. Originally from Communist Romania, Teodora grew up in a warm, loving family of 5 where her parents worked tirelessly to provide her and her their 3 daughters, not her 3 daughters. She didn't have daughters yet. She has one now, though, with Teodora being their youngest. After completing her studies at a technical university in her hometown, she made a life-changing decision at the age of 25. She's very driven and she has a huge desire to be more than just ordinary. She's actually quite extraordinary, and you'll find that out today. She sets her sights at that point in time to become part of the United States, and she embarked on her journey to seek better opportunities and arrive there. She does live in the U.S. and is a U.S. citizen. She's learned that effort is a critical piece of the puzzle. She was married, but unfortunately that didn't last, and it was leaving her as a single parent, raising her daughter in the U.S., I believe in the Colorado area. And the challenges of being a single mother inspired her to make profound changes in her life, leading to a remarkable self-discovery, which we're going to hear a little bit about today. We only have 30 minutes, so we won't get the whole story. We're going to get some gems, though, I promise you. And through the experience of being a stay-at-home mom, she has unearthed her inner strength and resilience, and probably some tenacity, I'm going to add. And her journey as a divorced single mom enabled her to truly understand and embrace her identity as a powerful woman. In 2020, with a wealth of life experiences and a newfound purpose, she decided to venture into the world of financial services. She wanted to help others understand how money works, just as she had to learn as a single mom navigating her financial responsibilities. So today, she is a division leader in the financial industry, guiding and empowering individuals to ascend the ladder of success one step at a time. Her mission is to provide others with the knowledge and tools that they need to achieve financial independence and secure a better future for themselves and the ones that they love. Her story is an inspiring reminder that her determination, resilience, and the pursuit of knowledge can lead to remarkable accomplishments. In a country where her name may not be common, Teodora is proving that with unwavering passion and dedication, anyone can achieve greatness. And I'm going to add again, effort. It does take effort. So without any further ado, let's bring my guest up. Here
Oh
she
my
is.
God.
Welcome. It was a bit of a long one, but you're worthy of the long introduction.
I don't
Thanks for
think
being here.
I don't think anybody said so many amazing words about me. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much, Phil. You're absolutely amazing. I really appreciate that introduction, and it's again such an honor to be chatting with you live.
Well, and it's kind of an honor for me as well, because here you are. You've come from a challenging background. Not to say other people haven't had a challenging background, but you came from a country that was a communistic country, right? And you can I say escaped?
More or less. So Romania, actually, the revolution in 1989 put an end to the communism when Ceausescu was killed, and all of that happened. So by the time I graduated technical university and I became an engineer, Romania was not necessarily a communist country anymore. Would it be correct to say escape? I think it would be correct to say just looked for more than escape, because it was not communism anymore, but it was communism when I grew up. So up to I think second grade, it was a communism country, and I remember everything being ratioed and having to go buy bread with the card, and the card being marked for the loaf of bread that we bought for the day. And if you want more bread, you have to wait until the next day when they mark the card again. So that was the same with oil, flour, all the necessities in the kitchen to feed the family. So that was hard. And one of the memories that I have about communism was having to do homework at the light of the candle because the power was shut off. So the power was on schedule, and during the winter, if it was 8 o'clock, the power had to, it was off. And if I had more homework, we had to light the candle, and I would be in the kitchen at the candlelight doing homework. Same with hot water. It was on schedule. So we had 30 minutes. A family of 5 had to really shower really quick, because otherwise we would take a cold shower. If we're not at home, to bed. Wow. All those things, yes, were communism growing up.
I'm just never having experienced it firsthand. I'm just thinking of all the luxuries I have relevant to what you just explained, what it would be like growing up in a communist country, studying in the dark or by candlelight. We do it here because it's a romantic thing to do. We turn the lights out often, right? I mean, we lose our power here sometimes, but it's not regimented on a regular basis. That's quite different, isn't it? Well, not different for you, but it's quite different for most of us. There's other people who have grown up in different political regimes too. Anyway, we're not here to talk politics, religion, or other things like that. But I thought it was really important to bring it up because kind of where you started. And I'm going to use the word escape a little bit because you updated me and saying when you left, it wasn't under communist rule anymore. I'm thinking that we're creatures of habit, and we live in our own prison, our own communistic thinking, and get in our own way. So you kind of did escape that and escaped your thinking to stay stuck in your isness, as one of my mentors calls it. Our isness is how we see ourselves, how we define ourselves, our self-value or our self-image. And you changed your self-image and left the country, came to another country, and are living in the US, which is south of where I live because I'm in Canada. But so you kind of sort of escaped, but
I
not
did
as
definitely,
harshly as what one might have.
definitely escape the
So
mindset, the hardship. Romania at the time was trying to develop to go more into business opportunities and growth, but it was still under a lot of pressure, where people were not taking advantage of, maybe growing, maybe starting a business, maybe going into entrepreneurship. There was still that fear of, the safety of a paycheck, the job. You have to go to college so you can get a good job so you can have a good life. It was that, but I absolutely did escape that mentality because I came to America, wanted to make more money. I was a college graduate. I could have gotten a job and just be comfortable and be. I did not want to be comfortable. I wanted to be uncomfortable so that I can grow and escape the control somewhat of that society that puts you in a job.
yeah, that's fascinating. So why'd you pick the U.S.? I mean, other places you could go to, wasn't there?
There were, Europe is so close, but America just has this image out in the world, the country of all possibilities, right? People want to come here because you can do extremely amazing things in America. And I I don't know why I picked the US. It was just, at the time there were a lot of programs as work and travel. And so it was very easy to get into a program like that. Europe didn't necessarily have those programs.
Mm.
It was something easy that you just go. There was a fee, you get all the paperwork done. I came as an international nanny, and I lived with a wonderful family for a year. And I took care of their two girls, two daughters. There was 3 and 5 at the time, and we still have a wonderful connection, and we're still a family, group together, where I consider their mother my American mother, and they are my sisters, even though now they're 23 and 21. So
Yeah.
it's been a relationship that was built on trust and work and cohabit. We lived together. I lived in their home, and it was kept over the years, and it's just wonderful to have them in my life.
So you landed here, became a nanny, makes sense. Uh, Earned your keep, got a place to live, developed relationships. Then what?
When I was freshly in America, maybe I had like 2 or 3 months. I remember this, the first time I left the country, the first time I lived without my parents, the first time I was far away from them. And so I was very homesick. I missed them. I didn't have vacation and definitely didn't have money to go back and visit. Um, so I miss them so much. I miss, home, the culture, the food, everything about my family. So my American mother, her name is Marcy encouraged me to go find a Romanian community and be part of that community. Maybe go find a church, find a family that I could spend time with, that I could visit, that I could speak Romanian with. So that's how I met my daughter's father, in the Romanian community. And we very fast fell in love because we had, similar, definitely came from Romania. He was born in Romania as well. So we had similar backgrounds. We were close in age. We loved the same food. And we fell in love. We grew in love, and we got married during the year that I was a nanny, that I was I lived with the family. And at the end of my contract, I moved. He was in the military, so I moved on base to be, to be with him, because now we were married, so it was only normal to grow our family. And moved to on the military base in Kansas, and from there we just we had a very, very beautiful marriage. It was built on love and trust and growth. And he was deployed. I was here alone. I did travel back to Romania to see my family and spend time with them. I spent a little bit of time with his family. And then when he got back from deployment, he chose to reside from the army, and we moved back to Colorado because we both loved Colorado so much. It's very close to Romania, as in landscape and how, the mountains and the valleys, and it's very, very similar. So we loved being here. We love the outdoor. We moved back and had our daughter, bought a house. Life was great. And then something happened and it was not so great anymore. So the divorce happened. And that was a lot of growth.
So one of the things that, I've learned a lot of things along the way, but one of my mentors said change happens in one of two ways. So you had a couple of those. Right? And then the other way change happens is constant spaced repetition. So you set some goals and aspirations. And I'm going to bring up a quote here from one of the participants watching us, Eric Bam, Pizza Man. He says the balance in life is appreciating what makes life comfortable, but having a drive for more. It's kind of why you're here sharing your story, at least from my point of view, is you have this drive for more. So now that you're a divorced single mom, out on your own, then what?
Then
A bit of a happy note first, though. Happy Pizza Friday.
Is it pizza? Is it pizza day?
I don't know. Well, for Eric's pizza every day.
Okay. I love that. So after Alma was born, her father was a very good computer science. He had a degree in master in computer science. So the money he was making was good money, and we could afford for me to stay at home and raise her, especially as a newborn. So at the divorce, Alma was about 1.5. I was still a stay-at-home mom. I had a career before, but it was more in services, not necessarily a career. And so I was a stay-at-home mom. I had to figure out a way to make money and continue, providing for my daughter. And so I went into a job and I did what I love, which is flowers.
Flowers.
I was a floral manager in a grocery store, and I loved doing that. But when COVID came over the country, and all that scary stuff happened, school was out. My daughter was home. She was in 4th grade, 5th grade, I think. No, it was 2nd and 3rd grade. So she was at home and I had to go to work. So I took a leave of absence. I took some time off from the grocery store because it was really scary. And I just, again, was put in the position where I had to figure something out. I had to find a way to make money while I was at home. She was doing home from school because school was pushed at home. And so I looked at my financial situation, where I am, and what can I do to get better. And I realized that there's so much need for education. And so I looked into starting a career in financial services, and I joined a national company. And then I built out of that. I looked for help in my situation for myself. And I realized how much need there is in education, financial education. And so I started a business, and I went full force and effect into financial services. And I decided to help others and start working towards opening my own agency. And so I did that in 2020. And I've been working with people that really need some guidance, some support, and knowledge to get their life better.
Cool. So what would you define your purpose as?
My purpose is to help people be financially independent, get out of debt, learn how, for example, life insurance, which is such a big part of our financial house, stability of our financial house. Most people don't know the difference between so many options out on the market. Most people don't know how to retire. What does it take to be retired, to retire, in later age? So financial education so that people can be financially independent.
Cool. What's one of your favorite success stories?
In my personal life or in others?
Your choice.
My personal success story, leaving Romania and coming here. I think the fact that I decided to come, leave that, I want to say little country. It is a small country. Leave that little country and come to bigger, better, more opportunities, freedom of choice. First of all, is a story of success. I have a very hard time looking in the mirror and seeing all the hard work and who I am today. But all the people around me tell me, "Oh my God, Teodora, you're so successful." To me, so many times, I think success means having a lot of money. Well, I've learned along the way that success means being in a good position mentally, maybe first, physically, financially as well, but that's not all that it is to be successful. So I think, raising a daughter who's just a gifting, incredible, good person is a success story as well. I'm a successful single mother. So that's a lot.
Except for she is a really harsh critic and didn't believe that you could fix the bathroom.
You already saw that. Oh my gosh. She said, you're gonna flood the house.
So did you flood it, Mom?
No.
Oh, so there you go, daughter. Alma, right?
Alma, yes.
Yeah,
Alma
I
is-
heard in Spanish what that means. Somebody told me her name actually was Alma, the person that told me. And Alma is the word in Spanish, according to her. It's your soul. Alma is soul.
I didn't know that until after she was born.
Hmm.
It was amazing to learn.
I'm really happy that you didn't say no. That's whoever told you that, Phil. That's totally wrong. Doesn't mean that at all. I'm glad that you validated what I heard was the truth because I trusted the person that told me that. So yay, good thing on trust because sometimes I've trusted and I made a mistake. Anyway,
It is so for sure. She's incredible. I could talk about her a whole show, but now we can.
I'd be
Talk
surprised if you couldn't. That would be. Well, I was thinking that maybe that might have been your biggest win or success is creating a human being in her. So, I mean, there's lots of things you can do now. I could talk about here, but I could talk about it offline. I have an exercise that you could do to help yourself if you're looking for it, you or anybody who's watching this, to create 100 success list of all the things you've done over the past. There's a Dr. Bandera who said we go through our successes way too lightly and way too quickly. Somebody will give us a compliment and you'll go, yeah, whatever. Next. Well, he says that's okay to have those. It's a good thing to strive and grow and improve. He says also, though, it's slow down enough to give sanction to the things that we've done. So I'm a big advocate of something that I picked up along the way, and that's creating a 100+ success list. Mine is more than 100+, and I don't say that to brag. It's just I'm developing my mental fitness muscle, which is one of the pillars of the show. And one of the ways to do that is to pay attention to the things that you've done, accomplished, overcome, broke through, got a degree, certification, helped somebody out. Doesn't matter. Learn to drive, learn to write, learn to cook a different ethnicity type of food. All sorts of things. We can stop taking ourselves for granted and focus on the things that we've done. Not to create a list and stand up in front of the room and say, I did all this stuff. That's not what it's about. It's actually to develop your efficacy, self-efficacy, your ability to get stuff done, as it says in my intro music and outro music. It's really kind of one of the keys to being able to push through the challenges of life.
Many people struggle with that. So many people don't know how to accept compliments,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
and they don't believe that, maybe they don't believe them. I think it must have been in my case, I think it's a cultural thing. Romanian people are very strong, but they keep going. They have a very hard time stopping to maybe take a break, take a vacation, go somewhere, because back in the day they didn't have the resources. They couldn't afford to go on vacation. So it was perpetuated to just keep going and going, and that's what we've learned. And as kids, because our parents never went on vacation, so that's what, we were grown up to keep like our parents did, because we model our children, right? They learn from us,
Yeah.
teach them through our behavior.
Well, there's a story, I guess it's called a parable, about a young girl who was asking her mom about why she cut the end off the roast, and it happened to be Mother's Day, and there was 4 generations of mothers there. She goes, "Well, I don't know. Ask your grandmother why she did that." So she went and asked grandmother, "Why'd you cut the end off your roast?" "Oh, that's a good question. I'm not really sure. Why don't you ask your great grandmother?" So you ask great grandmother, "Why did you cut the end off the roast?" I'm not really sure. Ask your great 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 grandmother. And she says, "Oh, well, our stove was too big for the pot, so we cut the roast in half and cooked it that way." So that inherently came through the generations, and until somebody changed it. So we're conditioned by those sorts of things, absolutely. And breaking through those is, I think, what life's all about. There was another thought that I had earlier on and around what we're talking about here. Somebody flashed something on the screen and it just went poof, vaporized. So if it comes back, I'll bring it up. Um, yeah. So the the stories we tell ourselves, I have it on one of my whiteboards over there. So the stories we tell ourselves talks us out of our greatness. Um, it sounds like your culture and where I came from and my parents were blue collar workers and did the best they could with what they had, and they believed it was hard work, and they believed that money didn't grow on trees, because it really, well, it can grow on trees if you open up an orchard and create fruits and those kind of things. But they weren't taught, they didn't come across things like Think and Grow Rich and other books like that in their life. They thought that life was work hard and keep your head down and you'll be okay. And they did okay. They did all right. They could have done better if they wanted to, but they were doing the best that they could. So knowing what we now know about where we've come from, what could we do differently to move forward? And I think if we change the way we think, what we think about changes, right?
Amen.
Somebody said there's 2 amazing people in this room. So let's give ourselves a high five. I don't know who they are. Hello, Facebook user. I might find out once I go to a Facebook place and see who posted that.
We definitely appreciate the compliment, right?
We do. Whoever you are, we know you're wonderful.
I think definitely believing in ourselves, and when we change our belief. But let's be honest, change is the hardest thing that anybody has to do. If you're uncomfortable and you're forced to change, then you do that. But if you're just comfortable and you don't want to change, so many people don't want to change. They don't want to take maybe a risk, or think the risk is greater. And I remember back being a child, and my parents had a friend, and he came and said, "Hey, my company, the company that he worked for, was selling stocks. They were just going public and selling stocks." And it came to my father and said, "Hey, let's talk about this. Should we invest? Should we pay? Should we buy? Give money for this piece of paper?" They didn't really understand what that is. And my father said, "You know what? No, I'm going to hold on to my money, because that piece of paper is, what is." He didn't understand. He didn't have the knowledge, didn't really have any interest in going and asking somebody, didn't have the trust to ask anybody. So if they would have bought the stock, the company grew, they could have made money. But in people in general want to have that security, that safety, and will hold on to their money and do what they know, go work the land, go work the job, rather than get a little bit of knowledge, bring more value to other people around them, and then grow their assets, their mind, their money for a better life.
Right.
When we put those two into perspective, we're like, well, do you choose to change and grow and learn, or do you choose to be more comfortable and really not like be limited to what the job will pay?
Yeah, what comes up with one word for me, and it's not an insult to anybody, it's ignorance. They don't know what they don't know. And so they stay within what they do know because it's their comfort zone. And they're not prepared to risk with not knowing stuff. So that's a good segue because I'm looking at the time. The show's about 30 minutes. We're over. We're going to be over. That's okay, a few minutes. So what I wanted to do is a great segue into sharing what you do here a little bit. Just let me push the right buttons to bring it up. And should be, there we go. And what, there's more buttons for me to push. I'm going to push them right now. So this is right here. So if you wanted to find out more about how not to be ignorant and learn about financial and have a conversation with this wonderful woman, this is a place you could go to do that. And I'm going to bring her back up on the side with myself. Sure I am. Look at that. Here we go. And you could go and learn some more things there. It's livemore.net/Teodora Moga. Is that how, I forgot to ask you, is that actually how, is that the right way to say it? Moga?
Yes, that's my name.
Oh, I just want to make sure I got it right.
Teodora Moga. In Romanian, with a Romanian accent, would be different.
What would it be? Let's have a soundbite.
A Romanian pronunciation of my name?
Yeah.
Teodora.
Teodora.
Yes. It's E instead of E.
Gotcha.
Teodora.
Gotcha. And there's one other place that people can learn more about you in addition to your website. I'm going to bring that up here. Watch the magic of technology. Go. And there we are on LinkedIn. That's so if they want to get connected with you and send you a message and ask you questions or learn about what's going on in your world, in the world of finance, this is how they can find you. In 30 seconds or less, what's one nugget of advice that you would suggest to our audience? What's a gift you would give them to think about?
30 seconds. Doubt your doubts and believe your beliefs.
Doubt your doubts and believe your beliefs. Oh, I love that.
If you're able to do that, the sky is not even the limit. You go above and beyond.
That's fantastic. I want to thank you for taking the time to be on the show today and gracing us with your presence. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Phil. You have been so amazing. Reaching out to me to have me as guest is so, it means maybe I'm doing something right.
I'm certain you're doing a lot of things right.
I appreciate you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to your audience and, our friends or common friends and my friends. I appreciate your presence in my life and most of all, everything that you do for people. I appreciate you being the person that you are and helping people always with your show, with your coaching, with your presence, with everything you do. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for that feedback. Much appreciated. Wow. Well, I'm going to bring up something real quick here because I want to. And it's how I talk about the show. To echo what we've been talking about, it's the you and wonderful. It represents you and you're unique. So continue to be your unique, wonderful self. If you're looking for ways to find out where your business score is, again, go back to my coachphil.ca and fill in the form. No credit card required. And one other thing you might want to consider doing is if you would like to find a way to quieten that inner critic down, you might want to go here. If I can locate it real quick. Yeah, right here. Right there. It's a long one. coachphil.zoho landingpage.com/saboteurs. If you go there, you'll get some information on, one, you'll get the opportunity to take an assessment around saboteurs, find out what you have in terms of your inner critic. Is it supporting you or holding you back? And then there's a really short video in there that explains the power of positive intelligence and what PQ is. And if you want, again, to have a 20-minute conversation in and around that, to find out what your saboteur is all about, I'm happy to help you out with that. In the meantime, have a wonderful rest of the week, and we'll see you on another episode of the Business Renovator.
I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.